Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. CampingWorld.com 500 from Talladega International Speedway. It's Dega time, baby. It's Dega time. Here at Dega, the world's fastest super speedway. Talladega was built in 1969. It's a 2.66 mile tri-oval. Unique start-finish line is almost in the turn one. You come through the dog leg of the tri-oval, and you got a little straightaway, and then at the very end of pit road is the start-finish line. Makes for some spectacular late race moves, late race crashes. When Talladega was built in 1969, it hosted the first race in September 13th, 1969. Every year since then, it's hosted 2 races a year. Bill France Sr. wanted to build a track bigger than Daytona. Daytona's 2.5 miles, Talladega is 2.66 miles. The fastest lap in NASCAR history is recorded by Austin Bill Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia at 212.809 miles an hour. The fastest ever stock car lap. And I believe it was 85 Ford Thunderbird, Coors number 9. Most wins at Talladega, Dale Earnhardt Sr., the man who could see the air come off cars. His son Dale Jr., 4 straight wins at Talladega. 10 drivers have got their first Sprint Cup NASCAR victory at Talladega. 6 of those guys, their only career win was their first one at Talladega. Richard Brickhouse, the very first one, because in 1969 there was a strike in NASCAR. A lot of the names like Richard Petty, Kelly Yarborough, David Pearson, all those guys boycotted Talladega because it was so dangerous, because it was so fast. Richard Brickhouse got the win that day, his one and only NASCAR victory. Dick Brooks, Lenny Pond, Ron Bouchard, Bobby Helen Jr., and Phil Parsons have only won at Talladega. Davey Allison, Ken Schrader, Brian Vickers, and Brock Keselowski got their very first wins at Talladega. If you remember, Davey Allison was in 1987, that spectacular crash by his dad, Bobby, one of the first times the car left the ground, went into the catch fetching, parts of the car went into the crowd. Unfortunately, we've seen quite a few of those here recently at Daytona and Talladega. But that was one of the first ones, and that's when the restrictor plates became necessary. And David got his first win that day, and Brett Keselowski got his first win driving the '09 James Fence car, and Carl Edwards in the '99 car took a big flip over and just up into the fencing, and very, very dangerous, some of these big crashes at Talladega. But the restrictor plates gets them so close together that just a little hinge of anything can just spin you out. Obviously that can happen at any track, as we've seen at Kansas, when that piece of fucking shit Joe Logano fucking dumps Matt Kenseth in order to block Kenseth from making the chase. Unfortunately, at Talladega, as fast as it is, I do not want to see somebody retaliate against Logano and dump him at Talladega. Because number one, all you're going to do is possibly get a fan killed, another driver killed, or Logano himself hurt. I'd rather see the next, since he already qualified for the next segment of chase races, the elimination or whatever you want to call it, that I'm hoping that fucking somebody dumps his ass at fucking Martinsville. Maybe all 4 Gibbs cars can dump him. Because that was the biggest fucking pussiest piece of shit these movies ever done. If you remember right, Logano's got into it with a lot of people over the years. Him and Harvick's had some run-ins. Him and Gordon's had run-ins. He's been a pretty royal little piece of shit before. Felt like he's got a car that runs good, and guess what? He's the same fucking little piece of shit. And if you remember 2 weeks ago at Dover, 3 weeks ago now at Dover, because I didn't do a video last week, sorry about that. You've seen Kevin Harvick in the last race of that round go out and just dominate the freaking car. And during his burnout, I guess he grazed the wall. And Brett Keselowski and Denny Hamlin all made a big fucking deal about that. How Keselowski was saying how he did it on purpose because they were cheating, and that the way he grazed the wall, it would have knocked something loose, and NASCAR couldn't tell if it was already loose or if it happened there. That Brad's done that. If we look back at, oh my God, race before Kansas. Wow, this one's stupid. The first race of this round when Joey Logano won, and if you look at his post-race celebration when he burnt the fucking tires off of it, that right rear tire blew and tore up that right rear quarter panel. So I'm wondering if he did that on purpose to cover up something he did, because that car was real dominant. And that was real fishy how all of a sudden there's damage to it. And as fast as that car was, because he fucking burned the tires off of it, so it would shred, so it would take the quarter panel with it. Just like at Talladega, if you notice, after the race, that right side of that car was beat to hell. Not Talladega, excuse me, Kansas. Are you telling me that didn't happen late in the race? Because if you look at the replay of that right rear tire looks like it was pretty damn close to rubbing. The way the fender was bent in, you're telling me he didn't just slap the wall, that little interlude when he took out Matt Kenseth, so anything they were doing to cheat, maybe you couldn't tell? I'm just saying, you don't have a car that dominant and have your teammate accuse other people of cheating, you're fucking cheating too. Guaranteed it, fucking 22 cars cheating. And the fact he had to dump somebody to win the race, there you go. What's going to happen, NASCAR, is the way your freaking elimination is going. Last year was fine. I knew this was going to happen. It never happened last year, so I was down with it. Somebody's going to dump somebody like this, and somebody's going to get fucking hurt going for a championship. You don't need a knockout. How about this? Instead of change the fucking... You want the knockout? Great. I'm fine with that. All right, you have the chase. New rules for next year, well, I'd like to see, that I would implement. All right, final 10 chase races. Great. You have the 3 race segments for your 4 people getting eliminated. Great. Love it. If you win during the regular season, you're in the chase. I'm down with that. But, number one, like I said before, you have to qualify for all the races to be in the chase. There's number one. Number two, in the chase, even if you win a race, you don't automatically qualify for the next round. Because what that's going to do is going to eliminate what Joey Logano did by taking out Matt Kenseth. Because Joey Logano was already qualified. He already moved on to the chase. It didn't matter for him. That race meant nothing for him. So he could go out there and just fucking start spinning people left and right and just cause people not to be in the chase and set up who he wants in the chase. It's going to happen one of these years, NASCAR. If you don't already see it, it's going to happen. And you know what? I hope somebody retaliates against him. I hope he doesn't make the Final Four because Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch retaliate with him because of what he did to their teammate. You don't pick on a 4-car team. Especially with 2 hotheads like Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch on that team. You pick on Matt Kenseth, one of the nicest guys out there. The guy would never do that to you in a heartbeat. Oh yeah, I forgot. He blocked. Yes, from now on, every time somebody blocks, spin them out. So at Talladega, every time somebody at Talladega blocks you, fucking spin them out. I want everybody to do that. You'll have nobody left in the race if you do that. Next time Joey Logano blocks somebody, I want somebody to spin him out. Period. All right. I'm off my soapbox now. Let's get to the preview. All right. Back in May 3rd, 2015, the last Talladega race, won by Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is almost in a must-win this week going into Talladega. Jimmy Johnson second, Paul Menard, followed by Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex, Sam Hornish, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Josh Wise, one of his surprise runs in the top 10 this year. The last 5 races at Talladega, Martin Truex is averaging 12.8, Clint Bowyer is averaging 12.8, Ricky Stenhouse is averaging 13th, Jimmy Johnson is averaging 13.4, Ryan Newman 14.2, Paul Menard and AJ Allmendinger both average a 15th place finish. Now we have three drivers who very limited time at Talladega, but Sam Hornish Jr., 6th place this spring. Regan Smith had a 6th place last year. As we know, Regan Smith was that close to winning the race a few years ago. He went below the white line to pass Tony Stewart, so he didn't spin Tony. What a polite driver would do and got disqualified, the win taken away, given to Tony Stewart. So you win some, you lose some, but he did it the right way and unfortunately lost the race because of it. And then Ryan Blaney, he's had 2 races at Talladega. He finished 4th and 9th in the 21 car. I love that kid. That's one of my new favorite drivers. Finally, if Ryan Blaney does get to the Cup Series, you got Ryan Blaney, Casey Elliott, Ryan Reed, Eric Jones. You got so many young talent. James Busher, and who else is in the Next One Series right now? Darrell Wallace Jr., Bubba Wallace. There's a lot of these young, talented guys that eventually get moved up. As we know, the end of 2015, get the retirement of Jeff Gordon. At the end of 2016, we're having the retirement of Tony Stewart, Smoke. And I was doing some online looking, and Greg Biffle's contract is up at the end of 2017. And he still wants to race, but he's 45 years old. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't have a swan song season in 2017 for Greg Biffle. So that would be just crazy to have Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Biffle retire. Boom, boom, boom. But that one hasn't been announced yet. If it happens, it happens. Biff's been a great driver. Great driver for Rouse Racing. He does things the right way. He doesn't get in any incidents stupidly like some other guys do. Joey Logano. Here at Talladega, wins in the last 5 races. Dale Earnhardt Jr., J. McMurray, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, David Reagan a few years ago. If I had to definitely go and say, okay, this guy is going to win, honestly, any of those Gibbs cars and any of the Hendrick cars, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, I think those guys are very hungry, very pissed off. They want to qualify for the next round of the chase. Let's take a look at the chase points now. Unfortunately, Joe Logano is leading. Denny Hamlin is 12 behind him, or 12 up on 8th place. Here's where shit gets crazy. Kurt Busch is in 3rd in points, 6 up. Edwards is 4th in points, 5 up. Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex are all separated by 1 point. As of right now, that's your chase, but 1 point separates 4 drivers. 9th place, Kyle Busch is 6 points out. So really, 11 positions separate 5 drivers from making the chase, or 1 driver from not. 2 points behind that, Ryan Newman. And then you got Dale Earnhardt 31 points out, and Matt Kenseth 12 points out. Really, Logano's already qualified for the next round. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, they need to go out and dominate the race, win. If maybe Earnhardt win, Kenseth finish 2nd, and hope to God 2 of the current top 8 people have trouble in order for them to make it. You can get 42 points plus the left, so 44 points is the most gap you can make. So really, if Harvick, Gordon, Keselowski, and Truex, if one or more of those guys don't finish within the 40 range, Matt Kenseth and Dale Earnhardt have to win to move on. If you look back at May race, Logano 33rd, Denny Hamlin 9th, Kurt Busch 12th, Edwards 32nd, Harvick 8th, Gordon 31st, Keselowski 22nd, Truex 5th, Kyle was injured, wasn't in the race, Newman 7th, Dale Earnhardt 1st, Matt Kenseth 25th. In the last 4 races at Talladega, Matt Kenseth's been 25th, 2nd, 37th, 20th. He does have a win at Talladega and 3 wins on restrictor plates. Dale Earnhardt Jr., won in the spring, 31st, 26th last year, 2nd the year before. He has 6 wins at Talladega, 10 restrictor plate race wins. Ryan Newman, 7th, 5th, 18th, and 9th. He's won at Daytona, never won at Talladega. Kyle Busch, then raced in the spring race, 40th, 12th, 5th. He does have a win at Talladega and 2 wins in restrictor plate races. Guys that I think may have trouble and shouldn't, Jeff Gordon. He's not finished higher than 14th in the last 4 races. In the last 3 races, 26th. But he's got 12 Daytona Talladega wins, 6 at Talladega. It's just such a crapshoot at Talladega for 7 guys to rely on Talladega to make the next round of the chase is just sick crazy. Because you're going to have 4 guys go home disappointed, and then 4 guys go home going, oh my God, we made it. Anybody can go home, anybody can go on. I mean, it's just such a crapshoot. So if I had to sit here right now and say these are the guys that are going home, Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski would be the 4 that I would pick. So I got Earnhardt moving on, and then Brad Keselowski going home. Obviously, you know, as I said before, I'm not a Keselowski fan. I'm not a Kyle Busch fan, but it's not because I'm not a fan of theirs. It's just if you look at their last 4 races at this track, they've struggled. I think that 88 car is just going to be unstoppable. I think, I don't know how many people believe in this. I do to a point. He's going to have help from upstairs in that car. I really do believe that Talladega must win. Who is better at this track than his dad? Who, if you look back at a moment Dale Earnhardt Jr. had, he was driving a, oh my God, it's like a Le Mans race, and he crashed, car caught on fire. He gets out of it, and he said that somebody pulled him out and he wanted to find him, and everybody was like, no Dale, nobody pulled you out. He's like, yeah, somebody pulled me out. Was it Dale Sr.? Wasn't it? I think there's going to be a little of that black 3 in this car, and I think Dale's going to give it everything he's got to win this race. He's going to move on in the chase, I feel. He's so confident. I'm afraid he's so confident that something's going to happen, but if anybody can pull off is Dale Earnhardt Jr. I like to see Gordon move on, obviously. So, all right, that will wrap up the preview of the CampingWorld.com 500 from Talladega, Alabama. Only 5 races left in the chase. We got this race in this segment. We got a segment of 3 more races. And then we have the final 4 at Homestead. So, as always, thank you for watching Robert Sports Show, and have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channels.
Come heavy or don't come at all. You leave your piece at home, that's your call. It never paid to be merciful. Come heavy or don't come at all.